Korea's latest mid-range offering meets another contender from China this time. Packing a decent spec sheet at lower the cost, does Huawei have what it takes to pull Samsung down a few notches in their top tier list of mid-range options? Let's find out. Mabuhay Manila, you got Drew from Manila Shaker, and join me in fulfilling a request in our latest phone op as we pit the Samsung Galaxy C5 versus the Huawei P9 Lite. If you're familiar with Huawei's camera-centric offering, then the P9 Lite, sharing the name, is the lighter sibling made noticeable by its smaller footprint. It's full metal for the frames that meets polycarbonate for the backing that looks like brushed metal for the P9 Lite with rounded corners compared to the metal build of the C5 that screams OnePlus 3 meets iPhone 6 in our heads. Other units include features like LED notification, hybrid dual SIM cum micro SD card slot, micro USB 2.0, and a fingerprint sensor that's embedded on the home button for the C5, flanked by capacitive navigation keys, compared to the rear-facing scanner for the P9 Lite with on-screen navigation. The Galaxy C5 wins this round thanks to better overall design over the subtle look of the P9 Lite. Either units will sport a 5.2-inch Full HD display with Huawei packing a decently pleasing IPS LCD screen compared to the bright and saturated Super AMOLED panel for Samsung's contender. There will be hardly any difference in this category, calling for another tie. The Samsung Galaxy C5 will be lugging a 16-megapixel f1.9 main camera to the likes of the Galaxy C7 and A9 Pro over the 13-megapixel f2.0 rear-facing shooter for the P9 Lite. It's decent shots all around, but Samsung's version of the same image come out pale, comparing to the P9 Lite that outputs natural-looking photos in deep contrast, which emanates the same story for the front-facing camera. Its Full HD or 1080p video recording for either contender sends optical image stabilization that reflects quality of taking stills for both cameras. For overall better performance, the P9 Lite takes the cake this round. Neither units gain footing in the performance department as benchmarks and speed tests reveal only a slight advantage for the P9 Lite. Real-world usage will dictate smooth and snappy responses for both phones. A slight advantage goes to the C5 gaining larger internal storage, but that's about it. It's a tie again this round. Endurance is fairly average on both units, which gives advantage to the larger 3000 mAh battery pack for the P9 Lite over the 2600 mAh juice pack of the C5. Charging will only be slightly faster for the Galaxy thanks to adaptive fast charging and the smaller capacity altogether, topping up at almost 30 minutes ahead, but the P9 Lite wins in the endurance category. The mono speaker on the P9 Lite simply outperforms the tinny version of the same audio from the C5 that will falter further with Huawei packing in high-resolution audio support. You guessed it, the P9 Lite wins this one. Retailing at a cheaper price point at 11,990 pesos or roughly $250, the Huawei P9 Lite wins overall with its more reliable camera setup and bigger battery capacity, which is sounding like a far better deal over the Galaxy C5 that will cost 14,990 pesos or $320 comparing, which will give you the advantage of a slightly more stylish phone with more onboard storage. What do you think of our contenders on this episode? Let us know in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep it locked in on ManilaShaker.com. Once again, this has been Drew. Mabuhay, Manila.